Thank you all for coming. This is StreamNet, sponsored by the UNL School of Natural Resources. So our sponsor, School of Natural Resources, UNL, focuses on sciences involving the natural resources, such as climate, conservation, environmental, spatial, and water sciences. And we are tasked with displaying water quality data on a website. So we're taking sensor data from various streams sent to us to process, uploading this data to a public-facing website to allow easy access for the public, and we're focusing on balancing research and layman accessibility. So our stakeholders, our sponsors were Christopher Jasinski, Jessica Corman, Ani Poetzel, and Stephen Thomas. We had Melanie Kugler-Wright as our project manager, Brady Garvin as our tribe lead, and we also received assistance from Vince Kelly of Green Eyes LLC, Greg Hutchinson, who is our hardened computing specialist, and other stakeholders were the North Platte Natural Resource District and environmental managers in Scottsbluff, Jering, and Terrytown. Our team, my name is Courtney Ulchenbruns. I'm the squad lead. Our product manager is T. Wynn. Our developers were Davey Winter, Drew Lobby, Reed Lawrence, and Lucas Didriksons. So the problem and opportunity that we were presented, the problem was that measuring and analyzing water quality in Nebraskan streams in different settings, such as rural, urban, and agricultural, is difficult and not convenient. You would have to manually measure water quality, such as different levels of ammonium, temperature, pH, etc. And it's not convenient and sustainable over long times to notice trends. So the opportunity that we had was collecting and presenting this data in an easily understood format through the use of automated sensors and an easy-to-use website. So the solution that we built an application written in JavaScript using React for the front end and Node.js with Express as the back-end framework. We used a MySQL database, and we had a Windows server running with Microsoft IIS. The server is able to send and receive emails through an SMTP, and it also receives data from sensors through SFTP. So these sensors are from Green Eyes LLC, and you can see a picture of one of them here. The Green Eyes LLC developed the new lab, which is a multi-channel autonomous aquatic nutrient analyzer. So it has multiple channels, so it can run multiple measurements at once. It runs automatically, with the exception of there are some reactant bags that need replaced every so often, but it is relatively low maintenance, and it can measure ammonium, nitrate, and phosphate in water. And also included in these sensors are the Exosonde from YSI, which measures conductivity, temperature, optical dissolved oxygen, pH, and turbidity. So Reed will now explain the UI of our website.
Thank you, Courtney. So if you were to go to streamnet.unl.edu, this would be one of the first views that you're presented with. So what we have here is the data that we've received presented in an easy way. To get to this view, you would just select a variable in the top left where you see that drop-down menu. And that would include all of the variables that Courtney talked about, such as ammonium and nitrate. And then you have additional options here. First, you can see the list of stations that are being displayed, such as from the UNL greenhouse or McGrew. And from there, you can either choose to include or exclude those data points from the chart. You are also able to focus in on certain date ranges that you wish to receive data from. Now, you're probably noticing that on the left side, there is that large gray block in the background of the chart. That's to indicate to the users that the data that is being displayed there is only simulated, such as if the suns are out of the water for the winter. Now, once you get past, in this case, March 31st of this year, that goes back to being a white background where it is receiving data from a live sonde, or in this case, receiving data from the sondes that were set up in a greenhouse for that last round of testing before they're deployed out to the streams. And then we have an about page about the different geographic locations that the sondes are being deployed to, such as Winters Creek, Gang Valley, and McGrew, along with additional information about StreamNet. And we also have the ability for users to actually create accounts with StreamNet. And the main purpose of this is to allow them to ask for access to the raw data that is being generated by the sondes instead of viewing the cumulative 24-hour data that is being displayed on the charts. So first, you would be able to make your account. And then there's two main options, as you can see on the far left, where you can either edit your account details, which has to do with either changing the name on your account or the email address that is part of that account, as well as resetting your password. One of the larger parts is being able to request the raw data access. So when you click on that button, you would be taken to this view on the far right, where you can set your use case, which could, for example, be research, your affiliation. So say you're with Game and Parks or with the University of Nebraska, you would be able to enter that, and then you would be able to give a short reason that would be sent on to the owners of the system. And when you click that submit button, that is automatically sent in an email to the owners, where they are then able to either approve or deny your request for raw data. And then we also have a fairly simple admin control panel, where the admins are able to go through and grant raw data access to people even if they have not requested it, along with being able to grant their own admin privileges. This is also, or grant admin privileges to additional users. This is also where they would be able to either revoke raw data access if they found that was being misused, or they would be able to revoke admin privileges if, for example, somebody had completed their time with the School of Natural Resources and no longer needed those access privileges. And then, as an additional way for the owners to communicate with people who will be using the site, there is a banner system. If you were to go onto the chart page, a banner might be displayed, and this is the way that the admins are able to control that. They are either able to go through that drop-down list and select a number of predefined banners, or they would be able to add a new banner that would allow them finer control in communicating with the users of the site, such as saying that the sondes are out of the water for the winter. And then they are also able to edit banners. So if they have a particular template that they want, but want to update it, such as they have a banner saying that the sondes have been deployed for 2021, but want to reuse that for 2022, they have that option. Then if they have a banner that they no longer want to use, they'll be able to delete that. So over the course of this, we were able to produce a fairly large amount of value, and we were also able to gain some skills as a team. So our solution gives access to both researchers, farmers, and anybody else that wishes to view the water quality data trends over a long period of time. They're able to view that in a very easy to use graphical format. And they are also able to gain access to that raw data at the purview of the admins. We were able to configure a robust database that is able to handle the data that's being sent from the sondes. And we were able to make the website automatically ingest that data from the water sensors and present that on the site. Then from a large amount of value that our team gained, so we were able to learn how to communicate to these technical details with a non-technical audience, as well as learning how to communicate this research with both people who are already in the water science field, along with presenting it in a way that is still useful to researchers.
Does anybody have any questions?
So it's real-time data, right? So when the data is collected, it shows up immediately on the site or later?
So just to reiterate that question, you're asking if it is either real-time data or what kind of a delay we're looking at for data showing up on the site. So the site automatically receives those the CSV files that are sent out from the sensors, and then every hour it will ingest any data that it's received, and it will then be presented on the site. So the longest delay you could expect is 1 hour.
Any other questions?
Yeah, did you have any examples of similar interfaces that you could use kind of as a template to get started?
So this project was in its second year. So we did have some base formatting of the UI and the website that the previous year's team did complete. And I think we are out of time. So thank you.